Welcome into episode 18 of Just Another Podcast, hosted by yours truly, Just Another Chris. And in today's episode, I sit down with the man, the myth, the legend, Sweet Lou Photography. You may have heard of him. He's an OG YouTuber, film photography. He does instant photography, but not so much these days. In fact, he's taking quite the break with Polaroid. But is he back to shooting Polaroid? Well, we talk about that. But he also shoots film photography outside of instant. He's all around a sweet guy. We talk about each other's YouTube channels and a lot of other fun stuff. So sit on back and enjoy episode 18 of Just Another Podcast.
Look at us.
Look, hey, who'd have thought?
Not me.
Not me. Lou, what an honor it is to have you on the podcast. How the heck are you? And for the people at home, who are you exactly? What do you do?
Oh, God. Well, thanks for having me. My name is Lou. I run a channel called Sweet Lou Photography, and I also have one called Sweet Lou Gaming, where I play video games, and the other one, aptly named I Do Photography. I take photos.
Wow. That sounds so thrilling and so exciting. But yes, you have a pretty killer photography YouTube channel. When I was first getting into kind of the instant world, you were among the first channels that I found. And you helped me on the original journey, I would say, as far as the into film, not just instant, but also film photography, because I do 35 and 120 as well. Not as much as I used to, but I'm getting back into it. But how long have you been doing YouTube with your film photography, more specifically?
Well, first of all, thank you. I'm sorry that those were the first videos you watched, because they're probably bad. Overall, I've been on YouTube a very long time, shit posts back from college and crappy projects. Sweet Lou Photography, I believe, is 6 years old, and the gaming channel, oh my God, I literally just texted one of my friends saying it was my gaming channel's birthday, which is coincidentally the same birthday as my friend The Flood's channel birthday, who's my good Canadian friend who streams on Twitch. It's 7 or 8. It's 8 years. 8 years. The gaming channel is 8 years.
Wow.
Yeah. But they shouldn't be as bad as they are, but
yeah. Well, I mean, everyone's is I don't know, even my stuff I always feel it's not good. Even nowadays sometimes. I'm like, this
are you really an artist if you don't question everything you do? You know what I mean? There's a distinct moment every time I edit, whether it's a wedding film that I've done, a music video or YouTube video, a meme, that if I don't have that moment where I'm I've made every decision in my life I've ever made is a mistake. At this point, I don't think I'm doing it right if I don't have that crisis. So, I think it's normal.
Yeah, it's definitely part of the process, because the days where I'm like, this video is going to be the greatest video ever, I'm so proud of this, it's always the worst performing video ever. And then the ones that I'm like, this video is hot garbage, those are the ones that usually do pretty well. So I don't know what that means.
I can't relate to either of those. I never think a video is good, and they never do well.
It's rare where I get a video I'm like, yeah, this is going to be amazing. But sometimes I'm like, yeah, I'm so proud of this. And then it gets tens of views.
Yeah. What's a video you say that you're super proud of that you feel didn't get a chance? If I could just say, hey, YouTube, this one, push this one out.
Ooh, that's a great question. Wow.
Out of the gate swinging.
Out of the gate swinging. Yeah, okay, I got one. It was actually a fairly newish one. Came out in the summertime. I went to this barbecue car show. They called the Carbecue, and I went around and took pictures of people's cars, and I printed them instantly on a 4x6 printer, one of those die sublimation printers, and then I made a little fun certificate and put them in a sleeve, and then snuck them back into every car that I took a picture of. And digitally, not with the film photography, not film
Yeah.
stuff. And I put them back in the cars, and then I even got some people's reactions to it. It was like a super fun video. It didn't really do very well, and I'm like, come on, YouTube,
Yeah.
that one was fun.
I did see that one. I thought it was a really cool.
Oh,
The name too, Barbecue, is pretty sick.
yeah.
You gotta understand something about me when it comes to YouTube. I lurk a lot. Like I
Dude,
watch a lot of YouTube.
me
I don't
too.
always comment. Like I like videos. Like I think my likes are not public, but like if you go through, like I'm very up to date with all my follows. 'Cause like my like if I'm not doing a podcast, like when I'm at the gym doing cardio or whatever, like I'm like, oh, what's the old camera guy up to? What's Knoptop up to? What's S-Rad up to? Like I'll check in with my people. And I'm also one of those creatures that like watches everything at like double speed because you know I got a
Yeah.
lot of subscriptions. I gotta keep up with them. But
Time is money. Time is valuable.
well, it's tough because I feel like that's a really creative idea, and I think, and I'm not, I don't know anything about this stuff, but surely people would be interested in that topic. But the issue, and Noptop and I talk about this all the time, is like packaging, right? It's like how do you position that video in such a way that people
Hmm.
even understand what it is, right?
Yeah.
Like when you say like, oh, like the Mr. Beast route is like, I took photos of these cars and you know what I mean? Like the bombastic, loud editing, which
Yeah.
I'm slightly guilty of too. I like meme editing and stuff like that.
Sure.
But it's just weird because I feel like there's so many videos that I've done where it's like, this is a cool video, but no one sees it because I'm bad at thumbnails and I
Yeah.
put no effort into getting better.
Don't get me started on thumbnails.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that one is probably a thumbnail I could probably improve to maybe get more traction. But I'm the same way as something you said a second ago. Is like I've been on YouTube even just before I was making my own stuff. I mean, it's probably since like 2007, 2008. But like I was a lurker, or still am. Like I'll watch
Yeah.
tons of
Yeah.
people's videos. I'll be honest, I don't know if I've ever commented on one of your videos. Maybe once, maybe. But like I've
I feel
watched a
like
bunch.
I feel like
But like same thing with Noptop. Then you brought him up too. I'm pretty sure the only reason that we even connected was because I do remember I left a comment on one of his videos, I don't know, 6 years ago maybe at this point. I even said in there, I'm like, hey man, I've been watching your videos for a long time. I just never commented. But then it wasn't too long after that. All of a sudden, Dave Noptop, he like commented on one of my videos, maybe like few months later, and then that's what sparked like our friendship. And then,
yeah.
so I'm like, dang, I really need to start commenting on people's videos more and get more,
Yeah.
into it in that regards. It's taken me a long time to like, get with the times as far as like Discord or like chat rooms in general. I've never been able to connect with people that way. And I'm more like an in-person, face-to-face type. So
Yeah. Yeah.
when I created like my Discord with my community and stuff, it was like I'd like train myself and teach myself, like have to be involved, have to be doing this stuff. It's very important. But yeah, anyway, that's a long answer to, or long response to lurking
Yeah.
on
No, no, no.
YouTube.
Yeah.
But
I totally get it. And weirdly, and I feel like kind of bad talking about Dave with him not being here like this, but
well,
we both know him.
I talk about him all the
Yeah,
time.
fuck that guy. Sorry. Did not mean to swear. I'm sorry. He knows I'm joking. It's a joke. I love Dave, but what's
Yeah.
weird is, we like same exact origin story. Like I was posting films on this other channel, and I just commented because, like, genuinely speaking, Knoptop inspired a lot of my early short film work with like his rigs. Like we did the PVC shit,
Yeah, dude,
and
absolutely.
his style also kind of influenced, like I would say if I had to pick two channels that really influenced Sweet Loot photography and like the style of videos, it was Knoptop and it was Kai Wong, who used to be a part of Digital
Yep.
Rev and now he's doing his own thing.
Yep.
Those were like the two. And same thing though, like I commented just on one of his videos, I don't even remember which one, and then he commented on Nailed It, and I was like, bro, I have like 2 subscribers and that's how we became friends. So
Yeah.
it really is, if I had like, for all of the stress YouTube causes, for all of the heartache of like, oh, this video is good and no one cares. the amount of people that I've met through it, like it makes all of the bullshit worth it.
Yeah.
Like I've made genuine friends that even though I haven't met half of them in person, like these are people that I talk to all the time. That I think what's important about that too is, I have friends. I have friends
That's
in real life,
that's good.
but like when you talk to people who don't do YouTube or just don't consistently make videos, there's like when I mention it to someone who's not into this stuff, it's like, oh yeah, hit and record, you know what I mean? And they don't know like yeah, I was up until 3 a.m. editing a clip of, the former mayor of New York dropping a groundhog, you know what I mean? Like there's stuff that like people who don't do this, they just don't understand, they can't relate. And I think if you don't have your little core of like other people who are in the same boat, you're gonna go crazy. You
Yeah.
need those people to just be like, oh hey, yeah, this dude, I made this banger, 2 people watched it, hell yeah, brother.
Hell yeah. Yeah, many talks. You could probably relate to this too, but like Dave and I, we would bounce ideas off each other, have calls as like brainstorm sessions, and like, why did this video perform very well? Well, let's analyze it, overthink this thing, which is a good thing to like try and grow and improve and get that outside perspective that somebody knows what you're
Yeah.
what, like as far as like that goes through it themselves. Not so much recently. Dave's pretty much semi-retired. For it feels like, but yeah, like going
Yeah,
back to
he
his,
needs to upload more because his videos are awesome. Like, show me
they're
a bad video on his channel,
yeah, there isn't
but
one.
I need to upload more too in Dave's defense.
I mean, I get where he's coming from because I mean, his day job is YouTube for another YouTube channel. Like he's shooting and editing, and then those they only upload one video a month, and they're like huge production basically. It takes forever to like get it done, and I get being like, okay, I'm done with this edit. Why would I want to go start another video project and work on my own thing? I want to go relax and live life. So I get it.
Yeah.
But yeah, he needs to upload more because I found him probably in 2009 or 10, maybe. I was trying to figure out how to, like, I didn't, early days, I was like, how do I record on a camera? Because I got a camcorder and I didn't realize it didn't have a microphone jack. It was just internal only. I'm like, well, I need to record a microphone, like with a microphone. How do I sync audio? Like, how do I do this? And I came across his video of like, well, you record and just clap 3 times, and then you can look for the audio spikes in the track. I'm like, oh, follow. And then the PVC stuff. I'm like, oh, and I built some. Actually, it probably wasn't his. It might have been a Indie Mogul, but
Oh,
I built a
classic.
I built a PVC fig rig, which I still have somewhere, but that was like early days. But yeah,
The octagon one, right? It's like a stop sign and you put the thing in the middle, right?
yeah,
I
yeah,
built one of those too.
yeah. I used it like once, but I built it out of
It worked, yeah.
PVC and all that. But yeah, Dave, shout out to Knob Top. Make more videos. I usually go. We'll see. This year it might be different. Which is kind of interesting. But I usually go out and visit him at least once a year. It's kind of a tradition. I go out there in like September, and we film for my Halloween special. But this year might not. It might be different. Might not be doing it. Just with other stuff that's going on. But
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, that's a lot. Every year when you do that, it's like, yeah, that looks like a lot of work.
it is. And so
Yeah.
I'm changing it up. But even then, I was still planning to go out there, regardless of filming or not, just hanging out with Dave at least once a year, make it out there and visit with him. But yeah, this Halloween special stuff is definitely
Yeah.
taxing. And this year, I'm going to do it differently. Regardless, I was going to do more traditional type stuff. I usually do Stranger Things themes things, and this year I was going to do it different. I was like going to recreate a lot of like horror intros, and like kind
That's
of
cool.
like do like different random like filmmaking things a little bit more. I think it'd be fun, but that's not what we're talking about today. So yeah, so I would love to have a conversation with you on this question.
Sure.
Are you posted a video last year? I think it was specifically about Polaroid, and people know that
Oh no.
I've been very vocal in recent times about my frustrations with Polaroid. I would love to know your thoughts on the current state of Polaroid? Because for those that don't know, if it hadn't seen your video, you posted a video saying goodbye or whatever. I'm done with Polaroid for now. So I'm curious to see if
Yeah.
that has
I used,
changed or
I thought
or
that
else.
thumbnail was so smart, and like no one, I feel like no one got the joke. It's that last scene from La La
La La
Land where
Land.
they're
Yep.
looking. Spoiler alert, which if you haven't seen that movie, you should go. It's a good movie.
It's a great movie.
Um, yeah, so I did two that I think ruffled some feathers. There was the I'm done with Polaroid for now, and then I did like both of them were bathroom videos. I think I'm done with Polaroid was the old apartment, and then the second one was in this apartment. Which I don't like my new studio, but new bathroom, same shower curtain. Um,
Hardly any
gotta have
difference.
continuity.
Yeah.
The second one was just specifically about the I2, and I was kind of
Mm.
riffing. This is something that I think people who just stop by the channel one time and watch one video don't grasp is that uh, I like making jokes and I like being hyperbolic to like, make a joke. So in that I2 video, the whole hook of it was like this camera is expensive and the film is still unreliable. So who's going to pay that much for the film? And the comments that were roasting me were like harping on the whole fact that I said, "Oh, it's a plastic lens," and like, "Oh, your glasses are plastic," blah blah blah. And it's like, yeah, okay. You're still not addressing the point that the film is wildly inconsistent and expensive, and the camera is expensive, and you have
Yeah.
to keep paying for the film over and
Yep.
over again for it. So I know I'm sounding very negative right now, but I've kind of stuck to my guns with not really doing as much Polaroid content, and I will say, genuinely speaking, and I know like we've been talking a lot of YouTube, which I don't know how excited your subscribers will be about that, but like I have done this at an immense personal cost because the videos that do the best on my channel are all Polaroid related. So
Yeah.
I have shot my views in the foot for this, but I'm standing my ground on it. Like until they genuinely say, "Here's iType V2, new formula, it's improved. It's cold outside, it's gonna work. Oh, it's hot outside, it's gonna work." Like Instax has figured that out.
Yep.
Polaroid has not. And while I prefer Polaroid cameras, while I
Yeah.
prefer Polaroid colors when they actually work,
Yeah.
that when they actually work thing is way too wide of a margin to actually nail down.
Yeah.
So I just got frustrated by it, and
Hmm.
I can't imagine you like your channel. Like I do other stuff. I do 35, I do 120. Like I make videos about Doom Eternal sometimes. Like
Yeah.
I can't imagine like being so focused on Polaroid with like that. I can't even put a percentage on like how often they go south, but it's a
Uh,
decently high percentage.
y-
Even if it is 30-40%, like that's still too much.
yeah. I I agree with you on pretty much everything you just said. Actually, all of it. Um, uh, when you said you were originally when I saw the video, when you said you were done with Polaroid, I agreed. I was like, yeah, I get it, I get it. But also, I hadn't had a lot of the experiences that you were having at that time. I've always only heard people.
Mm.
However, that changed late in the year of 2023, and especially when the i2 camera came out. I was just getting literally like wasted packs, like every photo and every pack. Not every pack, but like there was
Yeah, I
a whole
saw you were going
handfuls.
through it with that one.
And I'm like, this is ridiculous. I spent all this money, and so I announced that I will be doing. I'm not going to stop shooting Polaroid, but I'm going to be kind of like not giving them as a major as like a big platform as I have been. Because if you look at my channel, it's primarily been that, and I've
Right.
not sponsored by them in any way. And that's also from a YouTube business side of it. I'm looking at it as like, dang, I really have made them a lot of money, and they don't
Yeah.
acknowledge my
Yeah.
existence.
Same here.
So why would I continue when now all of a sudden they're embracing the film being bad? Because they're doing campaigns and being like, embrace the chaos. This is for the imperfect person or whatever. I don't know. It's
I thought I was
absolutely,
gonna have a stroke when I saw that. When I saw that post, I freaked out. I was like, "There's no way. There's no way." when I posted that video and people were screaming at me, "Oh, it's just you, it's user error," and then the company themselves was like, "Yeah, it's fucked up." Sorry, yeah, it's screwed up, but like it's unpredictable, and that's art, and that's cool, and it's like you can't have it both ways. You know what I mean? Like I love lomography, and some people might call me a hypocrite because like lomography is all about the artsy, like, oh, it's unpredictable, make your grass turn purple with this film. But like that's lomography's entire brand. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
they're all about doing
Weird
weird
stuff.
stuff, and
Yeah.
I love them. And at the same time, and going back to what you were saying about Polaroid not even acknowledging your existence, like same here. I've made so many videos with hundreds of thousands of views, and it's like you think they could send an email and be like, "Oh, here's a pack of film, dude. Thanks for
Yeah.
moving cameras for us." I don't do affiliate links or anything like that either.
Yeah.
And like on the flip side, I made one video about lomography. And granted, maybe this is because they're in New York City as well, but
Mm.
they hit me up after that first video, and that video got like 1,000 views maybe.
Yeah.
And they're like, "Hey, thanks for making the video. It was really cool." And like even just something like that, where it's
Mm-hmm.
like I know someone at Polaroid has seen my videos. I know
100%.
that for a fact.
100%.
And like I also don't want to completely shit on them because when I had the Now Plus where I promised I'd do a review on that video and a review video on that camera, and I still will eventually. Um, but like I had no issues with it at all at first, which if I remember correctly, I think you did, right? I think you
Mm-hmm.
were having the exposure issues with that one,
Yeah.
where like everything was really hot.
Mm-hmm.
Weirdly, over time, I started doing like it was fine for like 3 months, 4 months, and then like right around the 6 month mark, it was just like, oh yeah, everything's gonna be like +5 stops overexposed. So I actually contacted Polaroid, and they did send me another one. So I also don't want to like shit on their customer service because like I did hit them with the whole like I do YouTube blah blah blah, so that might have lubricated it a little bit, but they like they did send me another camera. They sent me a couple of packs of film. But outside of that, I never had any sort of interaction with them. And like for that video where it's like I'm done with Polaroid, that to me would have been the perfect time for them to be like, "Hey, why do you feel this way? Let's have a conversation." You know what I mean? Like,
Right.
and again, I'm not trying to act like I'm a huge, like I'm not a huge presence in this space anyway. Like if Peter McKinnon did that or something, you better believe they would be like, "Oh, whoa, 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 don't say that." But
Yeah.
the biggest thing about Polaroid is that like I'm not alone in this experience, and I do really want to emphasize this. Like this is not coming from a place of like anger or like, oh, I hate Polaroid. Like I don't. I really like the format a lot. I want them to do well. But it's coming from a place of frustration
Yeah.
because like you said it yourself. Like you spent the money on the i2, you spent the money on the film. Like you're not if you're people have this impression too that like ad revenue is like more than a quarter of video. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I'm operating at a huge loss here, and
Yeah.
while I enjoy making videos and I enjoy seeing the community and the comments and all that stuff, it's like I also at my core, like I'm a photographer. I want to take good photos. I want to go out there and take photos that are memorable. And when half of them are screwed up, or oh my God, it's too hot out today, I can't do it. Oh my God, someone sent me a pack of film to my PO box. Shout out to Noe. I'm not going to say her last name. He didn't include an Instagram or anything. Thank you. I shot that pack, and they were all screwed up. Like they
Yeah.
they were all completely green. And like I know I'm in the Northeast. I know it's a little cold. I did the classic, like I put it in my pocket right away. We went inside to like a coffee shop. Like best practices are followed, and they're all like the ones that are outside are like significantly underexposed. Like it's not like a
Yeah.
little. It's like it's the things that are not dark shadows are green, and that's it. Those are the entire
Yeah.
photos. Like the entire pack was like that. So it's just really hard for me to get hyped for like, oh, here's another Polaroid video when I'm getting results like that.
Yeah. No, I'm with you. And that's a better way of how I've been able to explain my like why I've been very vocal, and it's been more anger. And it's not like I'm trying to just tell the company they should go away and go bankrupt and never come back.
Uh,
Some people have taken it that way, and that's not what I'm saying. I think because how much I do love like the Polaroid, like the shoot experience of shooting it, all of it. Like I
yeah, yeah,
love it. It's my favorite to shoot. But then these things happen. So like, it's a love hate. It's like a frustration. It's just like, no, I'm so passionate because I love this thing so much and it should be working. They should be doing better so it can stay around for a lot longer. They keep doing what they're doing. They're not going to be able to keep us around. They might keep the diehards, but not people that are just casually like, hey, I want to have a fun thing to shoot a pack of film once every few months. You know, they're going to be like, well, ooh, this is gross. Why would I want this? You know,
and it's expensive too. Like when you think about who they're targeting, like they're targeting people like us. Yeah, they're targeting people who are older than us who are nostalgic for it. But to me, their core demographic is probably Gen Z, is probably younger. Like I actually don't know how old you are, but like I'm 34.
I'll be 34 in a couple weeks.
Hell yeah! Oh, happy early birthday,
February 7th.
But hell yeah, dude! So maybe this episode you want me to sing you happy birthday?
Sure. If not, I'll just release it anyway as the teaser.
Yeah, we'll be like that episode of Breaking Bad where Skyler sings to Ted. No, I'm a bad singer actually. Maybe at the end we'll see. I have a few more of these, maybe. Where was I going with that? Oh yeah, Gen Z. Like, you know, and I hate speaking in generalizations too, but like someone who's younger, who, you know, maybe they have a part-time job, they're still in school, like they don't have hundreds of bucks to spend on this to maybe get a good photo. So like you see someone who's younger, who's like in high school, in college, who has a part-time job, they're not making a ton of money, and it's like, oh, I'm gonna buy a couple packs of Polaroid, and you know, 15 out of the 16 photos are not what I wanted. Like, are they going to then say, oh, well, you know what? Let me go buy 6 more. You know, like probably not. That's probably going to Goodwill. It's probably going on Facebook Marketplace. And I think that's sad. I think that's a really sad thing because it's like, again, you know, when Polaroid works, it is magic. It's so cool. It's the best. There's so much like joy I take out of that. But it's just too. You ever play Overwatch? Like this is the best comparison I could make, right? It's like Overwatch in theory, great game, right? Overwatch has beautiful art, beautiful voice acting, the gameplay is exciting, it's fun, it's fast paced, but it has the worst community on the internet. The developers have just decided, let's just not balance the game at all, you know. And as a result, it's like 1 out of every 20 matches are like, yeah, I love this game. And 19 others are like, bro, why do I play this game? Like, that's the comparison for me. Like, in theory, it's perfect. But in practice, it is not perfect.
Yeah. It's true.
For my gamers out there.
For the gamers. I just wish Fuji had better cameras. And I would be shooting them probably exclusively. It's the Polaroid... I mean, at least at this point, and with my frustrations, I would probably be switching over there. But no, my plan for my channel, I've said before, so this is repeating to the listeners probably, but we haven't talked about it. But it's just that I'm switching gears because I do like shooting 35 and love shooting 120. I love that stuff, but I had to put that all kind of on the way back burner just because Polaroid and Instax and that stuff was like doing super well on the channel. People wanted that, but it was so expensive, so I had to justify costs, and I couldn't really bring in the other stuff, and because that's just even more expensive.
And that's a whole other ballpark of issues that you can run into too. I mean, I find 35 and 120 a lot more fulfilling because of like how like this is where I develop my film, like in this bathtub. You know, like this is. I love the process. I love the whole thing. So let me ask you this, and I'm not trying to derail, like if you have topics that you want to get to, but are you at all concerned that you shifting gears towards 35 or 120 is going to alienate people and say like, well, this isn't, I signed up for instant photography. I don't care about this.
Yeah, no, that's a great question. And that's a thought I've had. But like, I'm not stopping instant photography. That's also, I've been trying to let people know that it's still going to be it's going to be primarily focused on that. I'm just going to add in some extra things throughout the YouTube journey of like 35, 120 and other things. I have a series I want to, honestly, full disclosure, it's kind of copying somebody, but I'm going to throw my own take on it. but actually that is going to still be in the instant photography world, so maybe I'll come back to that.
That's cool. That's cool.
But no, I want to start doing it because if you look at the channels that are doing instant photography on the channel, there's not a lot of dedicated channels focused on it. There's some, and I'm being one of them, but I'm starting to approach that ceiling of like the cap of like, hey, this is pretty much as far as you could go because the community is super small. Like, if I was doing, like, if you were to compare it to like I don't know how to really describe this, but like if you were to compare our, like my channel, your channel, some of these other like instant photography type channels to like the big top YouTubers, like we're those people kind of in our space, but to kind of put the numbers together, if that makes sense. But then I'm looking, yeah, like I don't want to compare us to like Peter McKinnon or those types of people. However, if you look at it, it's like in our world, like we're if you had to compare it, we're near like that. Because people, I've been learning and having to accept that because I'm not one to be like, I feel like I have imposter syndrome a lot because when I reach out to people for this podcast, I do like a kind of a synopsis of myself, my channel, and this and that. Like, oh my gosh, no, I love your channel, blah blah blah, all this stuff. I'm like, I'm nobody. I'm just another Chris.
He said it. He said it.
I said it. There it is. Roll credits. Anyway, so I'm starting to like, it's like feels like imposter syndrome, but like I'm looking at the channel, I'm looking at trying to make this now more of a business because I am bringing a little bit of money, more than I have in the last year or so. I'm like, I can maybe do this full time, even though I kind of been doing YouTube full time for years, just editing for channels and whatever. YouTube's a big part of my career, but I'm like, how can I take it farther? And channels that are doing strictly just like 35 or 120 or like that type of film, they've got the there's no ceiling. It's just there's sky's the limit on that. So I want to start like bringing some of those people over and also get those people to shoot instant photography because that's really at my core and that's really what I'm like mostly passionate about, even though I still love shooting other types of film. But I got into instant photography because of my day job is so digital and everything's like all these technical things I gotta, you know, worry about, like like it's lighting, audio, all this stuff, and I just like to be able to shoot an instant photo and just it's done, you know, just one button and it's over with, and it's super relaxing. So I still like shooting other stuff though, and so to go back to your original question, if am I worried about alienating others? I don't think so, because there has been a pretty large amount of people that have asked me over the years of like, hey, when are you going to start doing 35? I want more 120. I want more of this, more of that. So I don't think it'll be an issue, but I also want my channel to grow too. So that's kind of what I'm like, that's kind of my thoughts on where my headspace has been at. Now, I haven't done any videos yet. I've been shooting some film. But I don't develop myself. In theory, I know how. I've watched like your videos and some other people, and I'm collaborating with, I don't know if you know her channel, Molly from Eclectichrome.
I am familiar.
Yeah. So
I saw you put in your story that she sent you some film, and I was like, nice, that's cool.
Yeah. She's coming out to Seattle. I'm in Washington. I'm in Vancouver.
Oh, okay.
Washington, not Canada. I'm near Portland. I'm like 5 minutes from Portland, Oregon.
Okay.
It's a whole thing. You might have to describe when I tell people where I'm at. They're like, "Oh, Washington D.C." I'm like, "No." "Oh, Seattle." I'm like, "No."
Dude, people definitely forget that Washington is also a state.
I know.
100%.
But yeah, so she's coming out and to fly to Seattle. So I was going to actually go up, meet up with her, and then we're actually going to be going from there to PolaCon in San Francisco. I've never been before,
cool.
And so I'm going to be shooting a lot of like 35, 120 with her, and she's starting to get into instant photography. So we're basically going to like trade off.
That's cool, man.
On some
That's
stuff,
a cool idea,
right? And then I'll ask her. I haven't mentioned it to her yet, but. I have a series. So going back to what I was saying before, there's a series idea I've come up with, or an idea that I'll probably shoot it at PolaCon too with some random people. I want to call it Hot Takes, and I'm just interviewing like a instant photographer, with again primarily Polaroid. I guess it would Instax would be just fine too, but like so it's a question that I'll ask them, but it's only 8 questions, 1 question for each shot basically.
Right, that's cool.
Yeah, and it's kind of a stolen idea from Corridor Digital. I don't know if you follow them, but they they have a website with they have content there where it's exclusive. But they have one. What's it called? Dailies? No, loaded questions. That's what it is, and it's questions interviewing film photographers, but they're like 35 millimeter. And it's like 35 questions or something like that on one roll, and it's kind of I'm like, oh, that's kind of a neat idea. I'll try to throw my own twist on it and do instant photography or something else.
Yeah. Do you know my friend James? He used to be Authentic Aesthetic, and now he's Underexposed on YouTube.
Oh, I've heard of Underexposed. I don't think I've watched his stuff, but I was talking with Molly, and she was like telling me about some people that she was following. I think that's one of them.
So James is my boy. I love that dude. He goes by Jam Stills on Instagram, I think.
Okay.
I can send you his shit.
Yeah.
It's not the same thing, but his new series Underexposed is basically like walking with photographers and kind of interviewing them on their process. So that might be some good inspiration too. And also, I'm not throwing you under the bus, James, but definitely hit him up for your podcast too, because he's a funny dude. We did a podcast back in the day on my channel when I had a podcast on there, and it was like right when COVID started and right when Animal Crossing came out. So we did the podcast in Animal Crossing, and it's one to remember. He's a great guy. I love that dude.
I have a list in my phone of guests that I want, so I'll add them to it because I need to be finding more and more. There's some in here that'll never happen, like Jason Momoa.
Yeah, I think he can do it.
He's a film photographer and all that stuff, so I'm like, that sounds pretty 100%.
Cool. He's got a red. That dude's tapped in.
I know.
I'm a fan. I like that. He was crazy in that whatever Fast and Furious movie he was in.
That movie was absolute trash. He carried that movie on his shoulders.
Yeah.
If it wasn't for him,
funny guy.
He made that movie. I love that guy. He was here in my town.
I think you can do it, man. You gotta just believe in yourself.
I know. All. Well, I might. Who knows so your episode's not gonna come out until in February sometime because there's 2 others loaded up for you. But I might be able to get Jason Lee on the podcast.
That's cool.
I've talked to him. I met him. Talked to him. He was like super excited. So I've emailed him, but I haven't heard back, and it's been like 2 weeks. So still early.
Yeah.
If anyone's ever seen my intro to my every video, it's my name is Earl themed and or stolen inspired from. So I've wanted to get him on the channel forever. So I'm trying. I'm hoping.
Manifest it, man. It's gonna happen.
Yeah. So yeah. Anyway, going back to you plugging your friend for the podcast. Absolutely, I'd love to meet and have more people on here. And you brought up somebody earlier that's on my list. SRAD.
I love her. She's the best.
Yeah, I love her videos. We've never talked, but I've watched her videos, and so I'm like, I want to get her on the podcast as well.
Yeah, I'll hook you guys up. She plays a very important character in my Animal Crossing series on my gaming channel, actually. Yeah, she's great.
Yeah.
She's a great photographer and like just all-around great person. She's super nice.
Yeah, no, she's great. And then I had, by the time this episode comes out, this will have already been released, but Aim, Shoot, Develop with Diego.
We've talked, I don't know him too well, but he seems like a really nice guy too.
Yeah, he was great. He was a really, really fun conversation. He's going to be at PoloCon in San Francisco, so I'll be able to meet him in person. That's going to be super fun. Yeah, the podcast has been super fun just to be able to meet people, and that's been the goal, is to try and meet more people in the community, and then just be able to collaborate and do things I wouldn't be able to do because people live so far away. Hey, real quick, I wanted to remind you guys about the members area. Yeah, there are some amazing perks by becoming a member of the Spitfire Club, such as extended versions of Just Another Podcast and extended versions of YouTube videos and early access to said YouTube videos and exclusive monthly signed photos sent to your door. and access to the members exclusive Spitfire Club t-shirt. But that's not all. There is now an exclusive members only Zoom call. Yeah, we have our club meeting. We sit down, we chat, we talk about things that we're into, things that we're struggling with, things we want to improve, and special guest appearances from other like-minded content creators. Ugh, it's so much fun. If you want to become a member today, there is a link in the description below. I'll see you in there. All right, well, let's get into some audience fan questions, if you're up for it. Sure. These come courtesy of Instagram. We've got the first one from Notorious, and she asks, "What's giving?"
Hi, Natara. Oh my, I hate you. So Natara is a dear friend of mine. She helped me a lot with the channel. She runs camera on a bunch of videos. She was not so much recently, but like a couple of years ago, she was in a lot of them. And I helped with their short film series. Sorry, my Raycon is like falling out. Not sponsored, by the way.
They could be if they wanted to.
Yeah. Well, because part of their whole pitch is that they never slip out of your ears, but in fact, when you're doing push-ups, they do. But I'm just saying that as satire. So if you want to sponsor me and give me an affiliate, Natara, I helped Natara and Corey with their recent horror short series called The October Diaries as well. I did color grading for them.
Oh, cool.
They're beautiful people. I love them to the moon and back. And the last time we were shooting together, I just got on the topic of Gen Z slang and how I really dislike the phrase "it's giving." Are you familiar with that one?
Believe me, I'm familiar. I'm the same way.
So then that shoot devolved into us saying it's giving beer. Like literally every line for like 3 hours was "it's giving." It's giving VHS, you know what I mean? Like it's giving analog, like it just went on forever, and it wasn't good. So thank you for that, Natsara. I appreciate you commenting.
Dude, it was so mid. It was so mid right now. Dead ass.
I like mid. I think bussin' is funny.
I was gonna say,
I think cap is funny.
My phrase I usually do to with my sister's fiance. We like to make fun of the slang. So I'm like, dude, no cap. This is straight out bussin'. It's not even mid, bro. No,
dude, this
no
podcast
cap,
is
bro.
bussin'. I'm not gonna lie. It's giving
dead ass.
Bussin'.
Dead ass, no cap.
Yo, I grew up in the Bronx, so dead ass was very frequently used. So that one I can't. I love dead ass. That's a good one. But
dead ass.
I don't know.
Yeah.
What it is about giving, but that one hits my ears, and it's like I don't like that one.
Yeah, there was a commercial.
And yet I use it now. So
there was a commercial. Yeah, there was a commercial that for AT&T, and they that's all it was the. I don't know if you've seen that commercial.
It's giving.
I wanted to die. I wanted to just punch my TV.
Yeah. All right. So what's worse though? Is it worse to be like it's giving analog or it's giving, and that's the end? Like that's period. It's giving period. Because I don't know which one I don't like more. But also at the same time now, I think it's full circled. I think it's come around to the point where now it's like ironic to me. Like I think it's funny because I don't like it. So I guarantee you in like 2 months from now, you'll hear it's giving in one of my videos. I guarantee it.
Do it. Next question comes courtesy of Heather Hazy. What is your dream film camera?
That's actually I won't shitpost this question. And by the way, hi Heather. I really don't have a good answer for that one because like I feel like I have peaked early. Like I thrifted a Pentax K1000 from Goodwill for like $5-6 or however. I think that's how much I paid for it. And I love that camera. I don't feel the need to like lust after a Leica or something because it does everything I want it to do. Recently, a friend of mine, Christina, she gave me a Minolta X700, and this camera is pristine, dude. Like it looks like it was barely used. So I've been shooting on that one a lot, and I really love that camera too. But in terms of like lusting after cameras, like there's nothing like on my mind that's like, oh my God, I need to buy that expensive camera.
Mm,
Filed under would be nice. I would love an RB67. They're a little too expensive right now. And honestly, like I have my Mamiya 645 and I love that camera. And again, it does everything I need. So it doesn't it doesn't feel like I should spend the money to upgrade on a system that like I already feel like I have what I need. You know what I mean? Like it just feels like I think what changed for me is I used to buy cameras with YouTube in mind, where it was like, this sounds really bad, but it was like, oh, I made a good video out of this, right? Or someone would give me a camera. It's like, I made a good video out of this.
yeah.
And now I've gotten to the point where it's like, I'm trying to make my collection smaller. I have the cameras that I like now, and that's it. Like, I don't feel like I need to rush out and buy stuff. I would much prefer to have a friend who has the Texas Leica, for example, and we hang out for an afternoon and shoot a couple rolls through it and make a video about that, then go buy a Texas Leica. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. I agree. They, my thought, I've talked about the Leica thoughts in the previous episode because I actually have Electrochrome on, or excuse me, Eclectichrome. I keep saying her YouTube wrong.
I always say it wrong
Eclectichrome.
too.
We had a conversation about the Leica and in the previous episodes. I think yours is coming out after hers, but so y'all know my thoughts on that. But I think it's just overrated and just people want to buy it to feel like they're better than everybody.
They're beautiful cameras, but yeah, I can't justify
fine.
the price. If I
But
was like a full, like I do a lot of weddings. If I was a full blown like film photography only wedding photographer and my work would pay for that camera like that, then I would consider it more. I also personally, and this might be a hot take, I don't really care for rangefinders that much.
I don't know.
So it's like, and my vision's not the best. Maybe that's part of the problem, or maybe I just haven't used a good one. But there's not like I don't have that like, oh my God, I need a Leica. And maybe that's because I'm old now. Like I feel like maybe like when I was, if you would have called me that question like 5 years ago, I might have given a different answer.
Yeah, I mean, our thoughts and opinions always change over time.
Yeah.
For sure. I think a Leica might have been cool if, in the day of when it was only film, but like nowadays we shoot film mostly for the experience, and the cameras are like there's better fun cameras out there for a really fun experience. The tactile feels,
Yep.
the sounds and everything. A Leica doesn't make any of that, it doesn't do anything. So, and yeah, I'm with you on the rangefinders. I think rangefinders are fit a point. So if like in the instant film world, like I learned this from Dave, I didn't know about it, but there's one of the box type, was it I can't remember which one it is, but there's a rangefinder Polaroid camera, a
Yep.
box SX70, or maybe, yeah, it was SX70 camera. And I didn't know about that. And so I'm like, that's really cool, because they're not SLRs and everything, right? So you can still frame it up, or at least get it, not framed, but
Yeah.
focused. So
Right.
that's
Right.
neat. But yeah, like it's about the experience and the feel for me at least. And so, yeah,
Yeah.
I'm good. Honestly, if I found a Leica, I would just sell it and then go buy a bunch of other cool stuff. Like if I found one for a
That's a
good
fair
deal.
point too. Yeah. If I tripped going out of my front door and found a Contax T2, I think
Yeah.
it would be hard for me to not say I can get a quick $800 for this. I might shoot a roll, just for fun, but it would be tough for me to not, because $800 right now, like how much film is that? That's a new lens that you can take a trip. Like
Yeah.
my friend Jason, which by the way, Jason Hunter, he I can hook you guys up too because he might want to be on this pod. He's a big Instagram photographer and he's like started YouTube recently.
Mm,
He's the guy, you probably know him. He shoots like the corners of buildings.
nice.
He's
Okay.
really good.
I think I've seen
Um,
that.
he I think it was in yeah, because I referenced it in the video where I also talked smack on Kodak Super 8 camera. He put on Twitter this point like, for this price you could book a trip and go to Iceland. I don't remember where he
Mm,
said. The point was he's like, you can buy an FX30 and go to this place for the same price. And that's kind of like where my mindset is now too. It's like
yeah.
I could drop a lot of money on a new camera or I could like go somewhere, and honestly I'd rather go somewhere.
Dude, you couldn't agree with you more. Literally, like if you asked me like a question about this, or if this topic came up 6 years ago, maybe I would have been like, no, I want to have the latest, the greatest, the best camera. But like in the last couple of years, Dave and I have definitely had this conversation, or Noptop, that is.
Yeah.
Dude, I'm using my phone for like 90% of my YouTube nowadays. And if you told me that like in 2018, 2019, I would have laughed and said I'll never do that. I have to put an ND filter on my lens. It has to be, perfect. Like it has to be just. But now I'm like, no, I would much rather travel to, on some trip and experience this stuff and snap some photos with a phone and share it online, because that's all that really matters, that people still want to see it. They're not going to care about what camera you shot it with. They're not going to care about
100%.
so much of the thing. No one cares. I'd rather go have fun and experience things than, Yeah. Like, I used to want a red camera. I still wouldn't mind taking one, you know what I'm saying? But it used to be my end goal. Like, I'm going to get a red. When I get a red, I've made it. That's stupid.
Yeah. When you get Jason Momoa on the pod, just tell him to, give you his.
Yeah, he's probably got like 4 of them just sitting in the closet from sponsored something, red cinema camera. I mean, I would love to take a red Komodo, but I mean, I've got 3 Black Magics. I'm fine. But yeah, so like, I'd rather now if, like, let's say someone just threw a red at me for free, it's like $50,000 red camera, I'd go sell that in a heartbeat, man. I would sell that and just travel and do so much cool stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, my car is on 200K and the check engine light's been on for like 3 years, so I would probably sell that and buy a car.
There you go. Better things out there than that. Okay. We got just a couple more. Actually, wow, we got 4 more. 5. Yeah, 4. 2, 4, 6 more. We'll see if we get them all.
Precious little eggies are coming out in full force. I love it.
They are. I'm gonna butcher this name, and I apologize to this person. I believe it's Jonah7Tan. Jonathan, maybe it's supposed to read Jonathan. Trying to be fun. They're asking favorite beer of choice. What's your favorite beer?
Okay. If this is someone from Portugal, you already know the answer. It's Superbock, which is a Portuguese beer. I've shown that in a lot of videos, and I swear every time I do, someone's like, "Yeah, Portugal," and I love that. I love that pride, and because it's a sick beer, it's so good. Actually, I had one in the fridge, and I was gonna bring it for this pod, but I couldn't. I'm not gonna lie to you. It's the pry off, and it was the whole thing. So I love Superbock, and Guinness is probably one of my other ones. This beer is pretty good too, Crunchyroll. Shout out to Alvarium from Connecticut, but yeah, Guinness sponsor. And Superbock are probably my 2. Yeah, not sponsored. Cool art though, cool can. Yeah, those are my 2.
I'm not a beer guy. I don't like beer. Maybe that's my hot take for today.
You know what's funny is that whenever I do a bathroom video, there's a beer in my hand. But coincidentally, I don't drink that much anymore. Back in the day on the channel, there is times like there are some videos where I get comments saying, "Are you drunk while you're doing this voiceover?" And it's like, yes.
Yeah.
Yes, I am. I think that's why the channel's not funny anymore.
You're just not drunk anymore. That's funny.
Yeah, but yeah, pretty much like nowadays the only times I really drink is like if I'm with friends and we're just like out at a bar seeing a show or something, or I'm recording a bathroom video.
Nice. Yeah. Wow. Next question comes courtesy of the man himself, Noptop. What's the best film brag from your fridge?
Wait, what? Film what?
What's the best film brag? So what's the best film you got sitting in the fridge?
Oh, like I'm bragging about
something?
Oh, I don't know. You know what? I'll shout out a newer company. I have a couple of rolls from Cinemod. I think I'm pronouncing that right. They're from Portugal as well. So I have a couple of rolls from them. I have Lisboa is in, I think I'm saying that right because Portuguese, the S's are like shoes, I think. Lisboa is in my Minolta right now. There's 2 other rolls in the fridge. And other than that, my film cabinet's kind of light right now, actually. I have some old Cine still that I haven't shot yet, and nice. Some Reflex Lab stuff. So nothing. There's nothing like I have this thick expired Portra 800. Like I don't know. anything like that.
Well, that's cool. All right. Next question comes courtesy of Molly from Eclectichrome. Where did your YouTube channel name come from?
Okay, that's fair. That's a fair. I think I've told this story on the channel once before, like a while ago. It's very cringe, but so in back in the day, by the way, hi Molly. Thanks for the question. Um, Back in the day in high school, and yeah, high school, I couldn't talk to girls. And I don't know if
Same.
you ever seen the movie Grind. But there's a
No.
character in that. It's like a skateboard movie.
Yeah.
There's a character in that movie named Sweet Lou,
You
and
think
he
about
got all the
Brink?
girls. No,
It was a
no.
joke. It was a joke.
Oh, sorry. Okay, okay.
Anyway.
I'm pretty sure it's Grind.
Yeah.
Um, I've never seen the movie myself, actually, which is kind of makes me a hypocrite for using this name. But yeah, it's the guy gets all the girls. So it was like one of those, like, when you have like, you know, a short guy and you call him tall. Like it was just like an
Oh,
ironic nickname to bully
big.
me.
Yeah. Like tiny
They
for a really
called,
large guy.
yeah, yeah. It's like they called me Sweet Lou because of how awkward I was. And then in college, I kept it.
Well, it's better
I've
than
reclaimed ownership of the name.
my nickname in high school. Anyway, that was the members exclusive.
Uh,
All right. Next question comes courtesy of. Ooh, I'm gonna butcher this. I'm terrible at pronunciations, people. I'm so sorry. Y'all should know this, especially usernames. Like sometimes it's like hard to like figure out. Hansker, Hansker, hand charger. Apologize. What is a good way to make the most out of my film? How do you make
yeah,
it?
shoot it, man. Um,
Yeah.
yeah, I think, okay, two things that I did wrong for a very long time. This sounds like a YouTube clickbait title. Um, don't like if your lens has like f1.4, not everything needs to be shot on 1.4.
That's a great,
And
great thing.
if you're shooting film, overexpose everything. Just like don't even think about it, just overexpose it because if you underexpose, your shadows look like ass. And it took me way too long to just adopt that. Like, yeah, just meter it properly. Make sure you're metering for the shadows and overexpose and shallow depth of field is difficult to keep things in focus unless you
Ye-
don't want it in focus because that's the new thing now. I feel like the new trend is out of focus images. So.
Yeah. That's a great
And like,
advice.
I don't know, like don't think about it too much. I think that's the biggest thing is like just like do it for you, have fun, and like if someone shits on it, like there's constructive criticism where people are like Sean Tucker is the guy on YouTube. I don't know if you know his channel.
Mm.
He has a really great video about that where he basically says that like constructive criticism is from people who are on the journey with you. I'm paraphrasing here. And then there's feedback like those shitty YouTube comments we were talking about before, where it's like those are people who don't care, who aren't on the journey with you, who aren't interested in helping. Like that's the feedback you disregard, and you got to like live with that. Like if you're taking photos to make you happy, that's all it
Yeah. Absolutely. Couldn't say it better myself. What I tell people, because they always ask me, like, hey, I don't know what camera to get, or I'm considering buying this one. Which one should I buy between the two, or this or that? Like, I don't know, all that stuff. I just say, don't let other people tell you what to like.
matters.
It's usually
Yeah.
my go-to. Like, if you like it, go for it. I've had in my Discord, there's a lot of times there's people that ask about like the zinc instant printers, and they're not the best quality, but they're still fun. They serve a purpose. And there's some people that
Yeah.
will just shit on people because they brought it up. I'm like, stop, who cares? Like, I have to break it up, guys. If they like it, they like it. That's their thing. Just because you don't like it doesn't mean the other person has to not
Yeah.
like it.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
100%.
yeah, like what, if you like it, don't let somebody else tell you otherwise. Last question. It comes courtesy of Sam Does Photography. Should have read it all the way through. We already answered some of it, but I'll say it anyway. How did he come up with his name? And is he going to start Polaroid again? Well, we kind of touched on some of that.
Oh.
Any final, any like things you want to add to it?
I should come up with a different story now. So it all started when I was born. Yeah. It's just like a final thing on the Polaroid. Like I swear to God, I will do that Polaroid Now Plus video this year. It will happen, 100%. It's not that I hate Polaroid. I will do more of it. I'm not buying an i2. That's set in stone. I'm sorry, I'm not moving on that one. Polaroid, if you want to send me one, I will tap in and I will shoot it, but I'm not paying for it.
They won't send you one.
No way. It's never gonna happen. You know that Overthinking Hunger Force meme where Carl is like, "It's never freaking happening." Like that's
not gonna happen. It is interesting.
If I know someone, you know what I mean. Like if we hung out in person, I would totally shoot yours. You know what I mean. Yeah. Like if you would allow, I'm not like, give me it. You know, like
give me this camera.
But we'll meet up and I'll just like pull a knife and run your shit. No. But like if I knew someone locally who wants to share it, hell yeah. But yeah, I can't. $600 is crazy. I'd be curious what their next camera is going to be. To be honest, if they're going to double down on the full manual thing, or if they're going to go back to like the Now.
I mean, I've been saying, and Dave and I actually had a conversation about this, is that they should invest in the Polaroid Go and make like well, I've been saying they should make a folding Go camera, but not an SLR. But just some type of foldable Go camera because it can fit in your pocket. I shoot that. That would never leave my pocket. I would shoot that every day. But like also make some fun novelty like Go cameras, like make miniature versions of like the Sun 660 or something, like some old cameras of the day, of a little flip up flash and stuff.
That would be cool.
That'd be so much fun. But I think that's where they should be focusing some stuff in, because that would be a major contender in the Instax Mini world, which Instax Mini is the leader and king of everything. So if they want to try and be a contender here, I think that's really what they should be focusing on a little bit more, which they've done nothing with since this release. Here's a new color. Here's black frame, and that's it.
Classic.
Well, where can people find you if they want to get in touch with you?
Yeah, Sweet Lou Photography, Sweet Lou Gaming. I'm on YouTube and Instagram, and if you see me on TikTok, that is not me because I don't have TikTok. And I've noticed that someone is re-uploading my YouTube videos in their entirety to TikTok, and I'm not a fan of that behavior.
That's
I don't know how to stop it. It's very annoying because they're getting mad views.
Well, they're not really making money. You can't really make money on TikTok anymore.
Yeah.
But it's still frustrating. But anything else you would want to add or comment on? Any concerns before we wrap up?
I'm concerned about a lot of things, but we don't have time for that. My 11th grade English teacher, whenever he would finish a lecture, he would punctuate it by saying, "I just shot my wad." And I think that's the perfect way for me to sign out.
Whew, man, it's such a great honor to have Lou on the channel. Be sure to go check out Lou and see what he's cooking up. All his social links can be found in the description. This podcast has really allowed me to talk to some people that I have watched for years and years and actually get face to face with them. So I can't wait to see who's next. And I've never asked you guys this before, and I feel bad, so I apologize. But who would you like to see on this podcast in the future? Leave some comments below. Send me some DMs or PMs, however you want to call it, and let me know. Let's add some people to the growing list that's already on my phone. And who knows, maybe I will be able to get the Jasons, the Momoa, and the Lee. And I might be in Lou's neck of the woods later this year. If it happens, I'm definitely gonna be reaching out, and who knows, maybe we'll do a collaboration. But until next time, thank you so much for watching and listening, and to all you Spitfire Club members, because remember, there's an extended version of this podcast over there, plus more perks. Love you all. I'll see you in the next one. Now, get out there, make some art.